To start out today's business, Yuka Roy joins us here in the studio. Very good evening to you. Now, Monday saw Emmanuel Macron beaming at his flagship business summit, which attracted 20 billion euros in new investments. Among them, a massive order for, well, basically massive ships.
Massive ships. Well, one of Europe's largest cruise operators, MSC, signed a deal to build 2 new ships at France's Saint Nazaire shipyard to the tune of 3.5 billion euros. The French Minister for Industry and Energy said the partnership would help revive the country's shipbuilding industry, even though cruise ships often draw criticism over their environmental impact. Luke Schrago and our colleagues at France Télévisions have more.
It's quite the contract for French shipbuilder Chantier de l'Atlantique. 2 world-class cruise liners like this one still under construction. The vessels will ultimately be 233 metres in length, take 9,000 people on board, and keep the company busy at least until 2030.
It's a huge order, some 3.5 billion euros for Chantier de l'Atlantique, and good news for our workloads.
The new cruise ships will count for 20 million work hours and 3,000 guaranteed jobs over 4 years. For this manager, it's a vote of confidence in French expertise.
Beyond the technical nature of what we design, build and deliver, there's the craftsmanship and layout. That know-how is unique in Europe and France. There are 4 shipyards in Europe that know how to build cruise liners. France's Chantier de l'Atlantique is doing quite well, since we've been delivering all our products on time and on budget, to the satisfaction of our customers for quite some time now.
60% of the equipment on board is made in France, meaning work for 500 companies. One of them handles insulation, and staff see it as a breath of fresh air.
All of this is around 900,000 square meters of insulation. Right now, it stands for peace of mind at a point which is pretty hard for the industry.
Despite liquid natural gas-powered engines, there's been criticism over their methane byproduct, and Chantier de l'Atlantique is currently testing systems designed to limit their polluting emissions.
The size of the boat compared to the tugboat, compared to the transit van, compared to the... They're enormous, aren't they? Anyway, I'll be quiet. Let's get onto the markets. Yuka.
Well, Asian and European stocks rose this Tuesday after China's central bank lowered interest rates to historic lows. London's FTSE 100 rose almost 1%, Paris's CAC 40 up 0.75 of a percentage point, and Frankfurt's DAX finished above 24,000 points for the first time. Wall Street, though, is in the red as volatility returned to the markets amid efforts by Donald Trump to pass his massive spending bill through Congress. He personally went to Capitol Hill earlier this Tuesday. Opponents warn it could add $3.3 trillion to the US's deficit over the next decade.
Now, Yuka tells me that one company enjoyed a stellar market debut in Hong Kong.
That's the Chinese EV battery maker CATL. It rose 16% and raised $4.6 billion in the world's biggest IPO, initial public offering, so far this year. In less than 15 years, the company has become a top battery supplier for electric cars. It hopes the Hong Kong listing, in addition to existing stock market trade in mainland China, will help expand its global footprint. The company has said that it will use these funds to build a factory in Hungary, which will supply batteries for car makers like BMW, Stellantis and Volkswagen. This would be the group's second plant in Europe after one was opened in Germany in 2023. CATL last year had a market share of almost 38% in the global automobile EV batteries.
Meanwhile, Japan's Honda scales back its investment in electric cars.
Honda says it will spend 43 billion euros on developing EVs and related software by 2030, down from the previously announced 61 billion euros. The 30% reduction in investment comes amid slowing global demand for electric cars and as governments around the world ease timelines to meet emissions target. Donald Trump's effort to curb environmental regulation was also reflected in the decision. Honda says it will instead focus on developing more hybrid models for now, although it still plans to make all of its cars electric by 2040 mark.
Well, finally, for business, can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Well, via Netflix, at least starting later this year. The streaming giant has struck a deal with Sesame Workshop to show the 56th season in a new format, as well as 90 hours of previous episodes on its platform. It comes after the future of the iconic show was threatened by a recent decision by Donald Trump to pull funding from the public broadcaster PBS, the longtime home of Sesame characters since 1969. As well as on Netflix, the show will also continue to air on the channel. Warner Brothers Discovery, which had aired Sesame Street since 2016, last year decided not to renew its deal for new episodes. Here's Cookie Monster giving a little preview. Here we go. Coming soon.
Cookie Monster, my favourite. Well, Oscar the Grouch, she's another one that I really liked as well.
And Ernie and Big Bird.
Bert and Ernie, they're the ones, aren't they? Yuka Roya there with the business, fantastic stuff. More from Yuka, of course, as we go through the evening. The business never stops here on France 24. Thank you very much indeed. That made me laugh, that one completely.